Now, one of the most heavily discussed rules is the obstruction rule. This has been brought into the 8th edition to replace the change of direction rule in the 7th edition, sometimes called shadowing. As you all know, in the 7th edition, which is currently at the moment, a defender must make a touch and cannot change direction. In the 8th edition, we've removed that onus. I just want to show you some clips to illustrate my point. You'll see here that the left defender makes the touch.
Touch football premiership. Step back for some phase here for the Broncos, and it's worked.
No problem there. The referee didn't see a problem. Most people watching that saw no problem. But if you look, the left defender actually makes a touch, pulls his corner, and then comes back inwards and totally changes direction, which technically speaking is a breach of the 7th edition. Let's look at another clip. You'll see here, the left defender makes a touch. They run what's commonly known as a ninja or a boy. She recovers and comes back in, makes the touch, although the ball was dropped. Once again, technically speaking, under the 7th edition, that's a penalty. But every coach would coach their player to defend that way in both of those clips. That's actually correct way. And both times the referee saw no problem with it because that's the way the modern game is being played. But it's actually a breach of the 7th edition rules. Here's a third clip.
Comes the sweeper from the
You'll see here the left middle makes the touch, half picks it up, changes the direction several times. The left defender from the Broncos changed directions with her in what we would commonly call shadowing, and the referee gives a penalty. There is no advantage, and the referee rightly brings that back for a penalty. Now, the general population would say they had no problems with the first 2 clips. That was good defence. But the third clip is definitely a penalty, and they would be right. But unfortunately, in the 7th edition, all 3 clips are technically a penalty, and we don't want that. So this is an occasion where we have changed the rules to actually mirror the way the referees are reffing now and the way the game is being played now. So we don't want you to change the way you're reffing, and we don't want you to change the way that you're playing and the way that you are coaching. We're happy with what we saw in the first 2 clips, and we're still unhappy with what we saw in the 3rd clip. It will always be a penalty in the 3rd clip, and it should never be a penalty in the 1st and 2nd clip. What we do want you to change is the way it's articulated and actually understand what the penalty is for. In the 3rd clip, the penalty is actually not for changing direction, because that will no longer be an offence under the 8th edition. The penalty is for obstructing an attacking player, especially if you're in an offside position, which is a penalty all the way up and down the field. You can see in that clip that the left middle made the touch and obstructed the half several times by changing direction. The penalty is not for changing direction, it's for obstructing an attacking player.